Our next episode is called Sins of the Father. It's episode number 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation, and it originally aired on March 17th, 1990. It was written by Ronald D. Moore and W. Reed Morin, and based on the teleplay by Drew Diane, and directed by Les Landau. And this episode begins when Commander Kurn of the Klingon Defense Force joins the Enterprise as part of the Officer Exchange Program. Now, he takes Riker's place as second in command. Riker, as you may recall from last season, was the guest first officer on a Klingon ship, so now that we are seeing the opposite here. And when Kurn deals harshly with everyone on board except him, Worf interprets Kurn's actions as an insult and confronts Kurn. Kurn admits his attempt to test Worf's Klingonness. So Kurn then shocks Worf by revealing that he is Worf's brother. Now, Worf's family died during a Romulan attack on the Khitomer outpost 20 years ago, and Worf was told he was the only survivor. But in fact, Worf's parents had left the one-year-old Kurn on the Klingon homeworld with friends, and they intended to be on Khitomer only a short time. But after the massacre, the friends took Kurn as their own, and they told him of his true bloodline only when he reached the Age of Ascension. Now, Kurn tells Worf he joined the Enterprise because Duras, a member of the Klingon High Council, has accused Worf's father of treason. Now, Duras claims Worf's father helped the Romulans attack the Khitomer outpost. So Worf, as the elder brother, has to challenge the ruling of their family's name, and will be disgraced for 7 generations. But if Worf challenges the ruling and loses, the Council will execute Worf and Kurn in their father's stead. So because Worf may be accused of a capital offense, Picard sets course for the Klingon homeworld, and once there, Worf brings his challenge. But Kurn stands beside him, and according to Worf's orders, hides his true identity, because Worf doesn't want Kurn to be implicated in this. Now, Picard, Worf, and the bridge crew finally uncover the truth, that the real traitor was Duras' father, but Duras' family is very powerful, and bringing charges against Duras' father would split the Empire, and basically create tension, possibly a war. So on the guarantee of Kurn's safety, Worf agrees to discommendation and an excommunication from the Klingon culture. So quite a bit of sacrifice there on Worf's part. Now everyone will think Worf is admitting his father's guilt, and the Empire will be saved. So that's exactly what happens. All the Klingons in the ceremony turn their backs, and Worf tells Kurn even he must do the same. And Worf is able to maintain for now peace with the Klingon Empire, but he is accepting this discommendation to do so. And that is the end of the episode. Now, this episode actually ranked 7th in Entertainment Weekly. Entertainment Weekly came out with a list of the top 10 Star Trek The Next Generation episodes back in 2007, and this one was so honored. And it also received an honor from Richard James, the art director, and Jim Meese, the set decorator, got an Emmy for this episode. And definitely well reserved for the look of this. It definitely looks almost like a feature film with the decoration. We finally get to see the Klingon homeworld here for the first time, and that looks very convincing. Remember, this was made before the digital age, so a lot of painstaking work to create the look of this particular episode. It's also a very important one. I would say that there are probably 3 extremely important episodes in the 3rd season that have lasting significance. This one, yesterday's Enterprise, and then of course the Best of Both Worlds. And this one is definitely where I think the Klingon backstory and of course Worf's character really steps up to a new level here. Worf really shows that he is an honorable man, even above what Klingons consider honorable, because of course Duras actually is to blame, his family is to blame for the dishonor, but for the sake of the Empire, Worf is willing to accept this humiliation, even though the Klingons won't do the same for him. So I think that's a huge thing, and really it shows how much he values honor from the rest of the time we see Worf in TNG and DS9 here. It all starts here. This is a very big and momentous Klingon episode. Now, we also see a couple familiar faces in this episode. We see Tony Todd, who went on to play, I don't know if you've seen some of the movies that he's been in. One of them is actually called Candyman, and that was kind of a cheap horror movie that came out in the early 90s, but I remember him well from that. And he returns as as Kern in a couple other episodes as well. We also see Charles Cooper, who played Kimpek, and if you remember, he also played in Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, and he also played a Klingon there who was to be rescued on the planet of galactic peace, if you remember that. So that's why he looks familiar as well. And his name was General Cord in that particular motion picture. So a couple of familiar faces there. You also see a great bonding of Picard and Worf through this episode, and that really forms here when Picard agrees to help Worf and take on a special role in this one. And he is actually replacing Kern, because Kern is actually attacked in this episode by Duras when it's discovered that they are related. Worf is trying to leave Kern out of it, but he is discovered. So Picard decides to take Kern's place as, I believe the term was a Chadij, but he stands with Worf when Worf is challenging the lies about his father. And Picard actually helps Worf out in trying to solve the mystery behind all of this, and actually gets in quite a fight. You see, I mention all the time that Patrick Stewart wanted to get in a little more action, and this is another instance where he gets to do that, and he even gets in kind of a bloody fight in this one. So a great example of Picard getting a little more action than he did in the first two seasons here. But I really enjoyed this episode. A lot of great Klingon episodes to come based on this one. And comment below, what are your favorite things that you got to see with this? I certainly liked the visuals. I liked the acting. Not much to complain about with Sins of the Father, so hope you liked it too. Talk to you soon, guys.